Me becoming filmmaker is more about wanting to kind of tell the stories that I have, and then later on it gets into the technicalities of, going to study in a film institute, in SRF, Satyajit Film and Television Institute, where I specialize script writing and direction. But the seeds of it is this need to tell stories, this need to share stories, and then it came from the roots from my village. So I would say like that. Yeah. Before joining a film institute, I thought that I'm going to go to Bombay. I want to become a filmmaker in Bollywood. But then when I went to film institute, I studied there for 5 years, and I started watching films from all over the world, masters like Andriy Tarkovsky, Belatar, Hoang Karwai, all these guys I started watching, and then I started feeling that all the films that I used to see in televisions or even in theaters, I felt for the first time that these are all lies. These are films that I don't connect to at all, by seeing all this film, and I felt that I need to go back home and tell the stories that can be told from this space, from our place. This is how it was more like that. It's more like opening up to the new reality of cinema, new reality of films, rather than like then my dream changed. I don't want to be a filmmaker that who wants to go to Bombay and make film anymore. Like, I want to become a film from here that needs to go to the world. First of all, to make a film, you need to have lots of money. You need to have equipments and things like that. Then I was just thinking that what is the stories that I can make it, which can be very good, and at the same time which can be something that I really want to tell. And I realized that the story was about my own family. I lost my mom when I was 2.5 years old. It's like I don't have real memories of my mother. All the memories that I had are all from my siblings. They used to tell that mom was like this, mom was like that, and things like that. And then I started forming this memory. So my memories are all not real, but more inherited memories of my siblings. So I used to wonder that, are these real? Are these memories real? So I wanted to test this through cinema, through film, I wanted to see that whether this can be, the screen itself can be a form of a new conversation among my siblings, more like a family album. And at the same time for audience, it was about longing about an old man, longing about, it explored life and death, the fear of life and death, the longing for your somebody who passed away. So all these things. And at the same time, Rapture is about the kid who witnessed something that he was not supposed to witness when he was very young, and it explored in a space which is fearful, dark, and what kind of space that we're giving to a kid when he's growing up in a space like that. So it explore a more dark space. You can say that Mama is about a film about a longing. Rapture is about fear, about darkness. Yeah. So now there is no like, when people say trilogy, it's more about character driven. So I wanted to play with this experience of, can we do a trilogy without really having a character to character that goes from one film to another, but it's what is the connecting theme between these three films will be like a very abstract metaphysical memories of my own space, so I wanted to connect like that. I want to try it like that. Yeah. Rongkuchak is, of course, it's about not having a script. For me, it's about the beauty of language. It's about how we as a tribe, our language is beautiful, but at the same time, sometimes what happens is we have, all of us, even Khasis use English alphabet or Roman alphabet to express this thing, but I don't know whether you feel the same way or not, that the letters themselves are not good enough to fit the words, the beauty that we have, that's the reason maybe it's in Garo especially, it's tough for us to pronounce the word that we wanted to say. Lots of, maybe we are not good enough yet in terms of developing that letters to fit the language that we have. So it was more about, and I thought that when I was writing it, I was thinking that because we are oral storytellers, right? So, and it's more like a sing-song. So I was thinking that what if we have a script and it's more like a musical notation, like the script itself is, what if we could develop it? So it's more like an aspiration to have our own script, aspiration to this longing for the things that we lost, long to value something that we have really lost, and understand that what we have to formulate something, to articulate something that we lost. So it's these are also about, like when I was in Film Institute, I felt that I strongly felt this the need to have some form of expression with our own language, with our own script, you know. Lots of time we don't care about the extras in the film, right? For me, each extra needs to be specific, even in terms of faces, in terms of movements and things like that, because why should you in your frame, why, if they are not really important, why do you put them, why do you give them space, you know? So I need to be very this thing. So even with extras, I used to talk and train them and make them realize. And sometimes the lots of problem that people face with child actors are to pamper them. You should always talk to them like an adult. You should always talk to them like an equal, you know. You should always make them realize it's a work, you know, that it's a, so then once you do this, they kind of realize, I think, yeah. So I do a process of workshop in a very different way. Like I will take them to the forest, do this, do that, not in the hall, nothing like that, yeah. Meghalaya, like I like what Pradeep Purba is doing. Wanprang is doing very interesting work. Tarun Bhartiya, he did a very interesting, he's always like makes a very interesting documentary films. And then there are some young filmmakers like Eldhar and Shankirang, and all these guys are making a very interesting film. Even in Garo Hills, there are Jhansi and Elba Chisa and all. They are like doing a very interesting stuff. The only thing that I feel is they really need guidance in terms of making them realize that, you know, when we tell the stories, we have to realize that our stories are something that is still very unexplored. I think what we should not do is not try to make film like what is already done, you know, like be it in Hollywood or Bollywood. You should not try to do that, because they are there, you know, they are there by themselves. Hollywood and Bollywood is there, you know. Our stories needs to be, sometimes I feel that most of the film generally tend to follow this narrative structure or film structure which is very close to Bollywood film or Hollywood film in terms of how they want to tell us stories. So that is something that we need to, I feel that is something, you can do it in the form of entertainment and all this, but even entertainment itself can be, we can entertain film from our own very with our own essence and with our own nuances, you know. Time, in a sense, that this is the most important time right now. We should not lose this time, because we are still in a stage where maybe most probably Bombay was before, or South Indian film or Kerala film was, every state had a beginning, you know. So right now, Northeast, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Arunachal Pradesh, these are like we are in an initial stage of filmmaking. So if the government knows that this is something that they can really promote, they can really support filmmakers, they can really tap talent of the states, and then it can be an industry that can really grow. I feel like that. What government, to tell the fact is that we've been talking about the policies, to need to have a policies, but I don't think we still have a concrete policies. What Meghalaya government doing is with the Hello Meghalaya is something that is a very good initiative that they have taken. I feel that it should serve the purpose of all the filmmakers and talent. But in terms of, even in terms of infrastructure, in terms of education, awareness, in terms of opening theaters, not a big theaters but small theaters in different parts of the state can be something that is very important that the government can do. In terms of supporting film, we don't have even film institute in the state. We have a mass communication by St. Anthony's College, you know, but we don't have, but even if state can have a film institute, so that in that way there are multiple ways that the government can do what you were looking for. This thing of, like in the beginning I was saying that how stories from this place that can actually touch the whole entire world, you know, like, and until unless you don't experience it, you really can't define that feelings. But once people started understanding your film, you realize that if you genuinely, sincerely make film, you try to tell stories from this place, and you genuinely try to express the feelings, how you feel in this space, people will connect to it. You don't have to be like fake or pretentious in doing this thing. And like one of my producers is Chinese, and then the reviews were written in Chinese, and I don't know about it, and then she will translate it and send it back to me, and I felt so good about all this. Like, I can't really express, and I was not expecting that it will release in France in 152 theaters. That was not a plan, that was not expectation. So what happened is, one day we got a mail from a distributor company called Caprici Cinema in France. They saw my film in Nantes in the festivals, and then they wrote a mail saying that we really love your film and we want you to distribute in France, and we were like, okay. So in France, it's a very interesting thing, is the way they respect filmmakers or artists, the way they do, the government, like, there is a commercial film release in theaters, and all the profits, some percentage of the profits will be kept for releasing independent art house film from all over the world, which needs to compete for a fund support called GNCR, which is like a group of French distributors, and our film won that. And that's the reason why they got the money to distribute in the different theaters across France, So release itself, we have not done the release, but it was screened in almost most of the major city in India through film festivals. So even in India, if you see the most of the reviews, most of the like they have like a top 10 films of 2023, by Fraternity. It's a group of film critics. So Rapture is top 3 Indian film of 2023, like, which includes first is Atam from Kerala, second is Sthal from Bombay, Maharashtra, and Rapture is the third Indian film. What I will really say about the young filmmakers who wants to make a film is that I think they really need to be sincere about their stories. They should really stop looking for references. I think references kill your ideas, because nowadays there's lots of because of online, you can check everything in Pinterest or in Google and reference and all this. What happens is, the more you use references, the more you are suppressing the natural ideas that will emerge from you, from your subconscious level or conscious level, or from your experience or from your memories. So what happens is, many times that you're using in terms of how to shoot it, how to light it, it really kills the way you perceive the world. So I think one thing is that I always tell my students that stop using references for your film. Other thing is, try to be very, very sincere about telling the stories. Like, if you are telling a story right now, is to exactly feel, why are you telling the stories? Is it really important? Will you not be able to live life if you don't tell the stories? That kind of stories that you need to pick first, so that you can sustain making that films, even if it's like 3 years shooting that film, or like so. We need to find something that truly touch your core to tell the stories. Message to my audience: I think they should watch the film, take it. This film will speak to each individual individually. It won't be. I don't believe that film should speak if we are watching a film which have a rose from 1 to 100. Every audience should not feel the same way. Rapture will make you feel that every individual, when they watch the film, they'll have a different interpretation. It will also test you how you perceive the world, it will also deal with it. So I think they should absorb in the story and then discover something that maybe I was not even intended to. Share it with me. Something what happened when this audience discovers something new, it's like, wow, like I feel more enriched and enhanced by the story that I tell. Sometimes the audience can interpret the story more beautifully than the director itself. So if it's so, open yourself, don't go with this idea of maybe the film is about that, just open and see the film. Yeah.